Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Afika binti Muzaini and my matrix number is 275757. Today I will be presenting about the psychological issue GHAJINI movie. GHAJINI is one Hindustan TV movie of Sanjay Singhania, a businessman who calls integrate amnesia. He only remember his memory for last 15 minutes and he having a Polaroid and notes to help him remember the informations. Alright, integrate amnesia is referred to a decline in the ability to retain new information. This psychological issue will affect individual daily activities. In addition, integrate amnesia is a subset of amnesia. In such cases, memory loss already happening. It's caused by damage to the parts of the brain created the memory. Alright, now we go through the symptom of integrate amnesia. It's more specifically related to remembering new information. At this point, the persons may have difficulty having long-term memory. The symptoms mainly affect short-term memory processing. This can cause confusion and frustrations. Next, we go through the treatments. We have 4 types of treatment: 13 notification sounds, journal, notes or diary, family supports, occupational therapy. For example, in this movie, Sanjay repeated amnesia almost every 50 minutes. He hunting a man named GHAJINI, and every information about this man he will inscribe and rated the clues on his body. He also paste poster the all notes across his apartment and bring Polaroid camera to capture picture of people that's important to him. For treatment, for additional information, treatment of integrated amnesia is aimed at control and manage the patient's conditions. They can use technical tools to support in the form of notifications app with a daily planner and reminders such as online reminder routine tasks help people keep track on their daily life activities. Having a reminder application on smartphones will help the patients to stay up with the important things and events. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Today I would like to present my part, which is question B. Okay, the question is how life be when living with the psychology disorder and what the impacts of the psychology disorder have on oneself as well as to the other people in his life, and state the factors that cause the character in this movie to live with the psychology disorder. Okay, from based on what I understand is, as we can see in the explanation from my friend, Sanjay Singhania is a businessman who causes pre-planetary amnesia or anterograde amnesia. So, according to explanation with the psychology disorder of anterograde amnesia had affected his individual daily life in doing his work and any social activities because it all need to create a memory. This psychology disorder caused by damage to the part of brain that created the memories, and that so forgetfulness can be temporary that had been faced by the character in this movie, which played by Sanjay Singhania. And this is show how he do not have ability to retain new information in doing his life. Okay, and then the impact of this psychology disorder have on oneself as well as to the others people in his life, which caused by the death of love and also traumatic events. Okay, this is so challenging life experiences. His character in the movie shows how he reacts to such circumstances with a flood of strong emotions, okay, and sense of uncertainty. People, on the other hand, often adapt well to life-changing crises and stressful situations over time, and then it needs resilience, which is a long-term process that takes time and effort and require people to take a series of steps. Okay, so the factors that cause the character in this movie with this psychology disorder is resilience. Okay, because as we can see, the process of adjusting well in face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or even large causes of stress such as family, marital problems, serious health or employment and financial stresses is known as resilience. Okay, So from this, where it can be related is, based on this definition, it shows that how the character living with and recovering from a mental illness, okay, which is amnesia, requires a high level of resilience. So from these factors, it influenced by the number of things, which is demonstrate that having caring and supporting relationships both inside and outside the family is the most important factor in resilience. Okay, so um, um, it to provide encouragement and reassurance can help and can all help to strengthen a person's resilience. And then from it shows how Sanjay Segania to live with this psychology disorder by using the ability to establish realistic plans and follow through on them, and had a positive self-perception and belief in one's own skills and abilities, and the ability to control intense emotion and impulses. Therefore, all of these are factors that the character can cultivate on his own self, that can make the character Sanjay Singh in this movie to live with the psychologist error, which is amnesia. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuranis binti Sakimi and my metric number is 26568. So I will identify and describe the theories in psychology that have been learned and related to the GHAJINI movie. According to Matleo 2001 information processing theory, where our mind is a computer, especially when we are processing information. Besides, our mind is not processed as a computer because a computer is not having any emotion and exhaustions. Our mind will process information based on certain principles of logical and strategies. So in this information processing means our daily human mental activities and related to the receiving information, storing and reproducing. Information will be processed and will be stored in the memory. So mental operations are including in the process of receiving, encoding, storing, and recalling information. However, in this process, it involves three types of memory, which are sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Character of Sanjay Sehana in this movie, he is in the short-term memory. Short-term memory will only capable of storing 7 items for a very limited time, in which around 15 to 20 or up to 30 seconds, and the information will lost throughout the displacement or decay. What Sanjay Sehana need to do is he needs to maintain rehearsals or repeating information, whether in verbal or mentally, where it will allow the duration of his short-term memory to extend more than 30 seconds. For example, what Sanjay Sehana is doing is to always remember. He will always look up at all the pictures of his enemies, managers, his status, in order that his name, in order to always to remember and repeating the memories. So by continuing rehearsal and renews information at the memory trace, he will able to make Sanjay Singhania have a strong memories to remember what he should do next. The next theory is decay theory. So why do people always forget? People always forget because of the memories had been dissipated and no longer available. A memory will be stored in the memory system. Unfortunately, it cannot be retrieved. This decay theory is focusing more on the time and limited duration of the short-term memory. This theory always refers that short-term memory only can hold an information in duration between 50 or 30 seconds unless it repeats the memory. Rehearsal or repeated, the information will decay and fading away. Such as Sanjay Sehana had facing this problem when he not able to recall or rehearse his memory. He will be able to forget everything about what he should do on the next day. For example, when his enemies know that Sanjay Sehana is still alive and caught him, they wanted to kill him, but they changed their mind by erasing all the tattoos on Sanjay Sehana's body, where the tattoos are all about information who he is, who he should kill, and what happened to his fiancée. Thus, when Sanjay Sehana was wounded, he forgot all the memories. For the last theory is humanistic theory. According to Johnny 2019, humanistic physiology theory helps people to gain belief that all people are inherently good. It adopts a holistic approach to human existence and pays intentions such as creativity, free will, and positive human potential. Humanistic theory usually used in a social practice which is developing to respond to the psychodynamic and also behavioral personality that is determined by the unconscious or through reinforcements from a social environment. Humanistic theory stress the ultimate goods of humans and their potential health, creativity, hope, connection, meaning, purpose, and ability to reach the self-actualizations or for individuals in order to achieve their full potential. Crane 220. Very useful in social work practice where it gives a theoretical basis in order to view individual, their experience in this world, and the meaning that are related to the experience itself. In addition, in this humanistic theory, especially in the assessment stage, it is always involving with empathy and also being positive without having any conditional when establish a relationship. Based on the GHAJINI movie, the heroine, who is known as Kalpana, showed the empathy and positive side of herself toward the Sanjay Sihania. This is happened when Sanjay Sihania told that he needs to went back to his hometown because his mother was sick and wanted to sell his land. However, Kalpana had shown her empathy where she sold her car and giving the money she received to the Sanjay Sihania. When Sanjay Sihania received the money, he is unable to believe that Kalpana is willing to give him the money and is inspired him and encouraged him to do more good things. According to Kalpana humanistic view, she is able to develop a good personality, spirituality, development of behavior, and being able to understand on what is happening. When Sanjay Sihania received the money, he is unable to believe that Kalpana is willing to give him the money and is inspired him and encouraged him to do more good things. According to Kalpana humanistic view, she is able to develop a good personality, spirituality, development of behavior, and being able to understand on what is happening. So the signs of the success of the applications is that Sanjay Sihania is feel comfortable and enthusiastic on what Kalpana is doing and what he was learned the process of well and having a positive changes in the way of his thinking, behavior, and also the self-concept of himself. Thank you from me.
Okay, so I will continue with the next part. There are 3 types of distinctive personalities that can be seen in 2 characters in the movie of GHAJINI. The first character that shows distinctive personality is Kalpana. Kalpana shows agreeableness personality. Okay, under agreeableness personality, there are a list of characteristics which are caring, helpful, soft-hearted, and also sympathetic. This can be looked when Kalpana is caring and also sympathetic with a blind elderly in the town that wants to go to the bus station. Kalpana accompanied that elderly and find their way to the bus station. Okay, next, the second distinctive personality was also shown by Kalpana, which is extraversion. Okay, in extraversion, there are a few characteristics under it, which is outgoing, friendly, talkative, and active. Okay, this personality can be seen when Kalpana was talkative and friendly with the public when the public asked Kalpana about the story of his boyfriend, which is Sanjay Singhania. Okay, the last type of personality that can be seen in GHAJINI is openness personality. Okay, openness personality is shown by Sunita. Under openness personality, there are a list of characteristics which are curious, imaginative, creative, and also adventurous. Sunita was being curious when she wants to know the police case of Sanjay Singhania because she give the reason because she is a medical student and she wants to know about Sanjay Singhania. Okay, that's all from me.
In GHAJINI film, there are several types of learning that is related to this movie. The classical conditioning can be defined as a type of learning that happens unconsciously. So the classical conditioning is about an automated conditioned response that is paired with the specific stimulus. For example, when every time Sanjay Sigania loses his memory, he look at the photograph, notes and tattoos that immediately makes him feel very pain, angry and determined in recovering his memory and remembering his mission. Another example in this movie is when Sanjay Sigania is about to be beaten by GHAJINI the Magma, who was holding a metal rod, and the sound of the metal rod hitting the floor, which makes him recover his memory and remember the murdering scene of his fiancée. The second theory is operant conditioning. So operant behavior is defined as the behavior that controlled by its consequences. So it was grounded that any operand that is well trained affecting the current habit. So there is reinforcement schedules which leads to the operant behavior. In this case, Sanjay Sigania used many tools as the operand that is well trained to recover his memory and remembering his mission. So every time when he loses his memory, he looks at the hints that he left or collected, which stimulates him to recover his memory and remember his mission, that leads to his operant behavior to kill the murder of his fiancée. Lastly, the cognitive learning. So it is basically about the mental process which the learner involved, such as the condition of takes in, interprets, stores and retrieve information. So in this movie, it is about mental processes of Sanjay Sigania, who has anterograde amnesia, and he loses his memory for every 15 minutes. So by looking at his photograph, notes and tattoos, he could process all the hints in his mind and recover his memory and remember his mission, which is to kill the murder of his fiancée named GHAJINI, that makes him becomes more aggressive in behavior.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Tania Akila binti Muhammad Izzauddin. My metric number is 264132. So, for my part is about intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is something we do willingly for ourselves. For this GHAJINI movie, we can say that when GHAJINI have illness with short-term memory loss. However, he wants to get a revenge for his girlfriend, Kalpana, who killed by the GHAJINI. So what he do is he will take a photo using camera Polaroid to make sure he know everyone he meets. And the second thing is he will jot down everything he want to do in their notebook and in their body. So every time he wake up, he will remember everything. So the second is when the medical student who wants to know, eager to know about this illness, short-term memory loss. However, his professor did not allow her to do that because this case is confidential. However, this student is not giving up. She always do the research until he find GHAJINI. So yeah, that's the begins. Okay, the second is about the aesthetic motivation. Aesthetic motivation is when some people do something to get some reward. So we can see that in this movie, when Kalpana, when one day a reporter do some interview with her, and without she realized she said to the reporter that she is Sanjay Singhania girlfriend. And in this is the things that when she start lying, people in their workplace and reporter everything, and she become more famous and people have respect to her, and she got everything she wants. And due to that, she keep lying to get more reward and more famous. Yeah, this is about intrinsic and aesthetic motivation. Thank you.
I'm